Beatles classic Norwegian wood, played a little differently than the original. And I'm doing it this way for a couple of reasons. One is it's easy. So for those of you who have struggled to play the original as it was originally played in standard tuning, I'm going to show you an alternate tuning version that is much simpler, is really fun, and has some sweet tonalities to it. Now, if you're one of those people that runs away, that clicks away as soon as you hear the words alternate tunings, stick with me for a minute, because I used to be one of you. I used to think, God, alternate tunings, there's enough songs in standard tuning that I need to learn, you know? But it's simple. Get a clip-on tuner. Everyone has a tuner, right? And all you have to do for this DADGAD tuning is retune 3 strings to the same tonality as existing strings, so you don't even need a tuner. Okay, so you're going to pause the video here for a second, and you're going to tune your high and low E strings down to D so that they match your 4th string. You should have 3 Ds. Okay, and then you're going to tune your 2nd string so that it matches your 5th. You're going to make it an A. So what we end up with is D, A, D, G, A, D, which is very close to an open tuning. All you have to do is put your finger on the 2nd fret 3rd string, making it an A note, to have a beautiful 6-string D5 chord. And what I mean by D5 is you've got the root D and you've got the 5th A of a D major chord played, you know, multiple instances of both notes. It's beautiful. Okay, now the original of Norwegian wood was played with a capo. It was played in, or capo, depending on how you like to pronounce it, was played in E. They did do a version in D. I believe it's on one of the anthologies of the outtakes. And if you're looking for a standard tuning lesson, playing it with the capo in E, Justin Guitar has a wonderful lesson. He's the best on YouTube for any lessons. But if you want to try playing it in standard tuning in E, check him out. If you're having trouble playing it that way, let's do it the 1-finger method, okay? It makes it so much easier. It frees up all your other fingers to play the melody notes, and really all you have to do is anchor that index finger there on the 2nd fret 3rd string. Simple. Now, I like to play it with a hammer on to start. You don't have to. The original, it just starts with that A note. But I think it gives it a little bit more spank, if you will. Okay, so here's the first figure. A, hammer on, 2 frets up, 4th fret 3rd string. Open 3rd string. Now you're going to land 2 fingers. This is another place where it may be a little different from the original. Justin says they played that open. I don't know. I'm hearing it. I like it better like that. But anyway, the main thing is that F sharp note, 4th string, 4th fret. If you want to leave the 3rd string open or fret it, I like to fret it. I think it sounds better, and I also, because otherwise you've got the dissonance of an F sharp and a G. Ooh, that's I don't know. To me, I don't like that. But it also keeps that anchor thing going. Other beauties of doing a DADGAD is you can be really free. You can be really kind of sloppy. You can just kind of strum. You know, you can really kind of go to town because you can't hit a bad string. When you've got this DADGAD tuning, you cannot hit a bad string as long as you have that A note anchored. So following that first phrase, you do have to lift up your anchor because you need to play an E note on the 4th string, 2nd fret. So it's again E, G, F sharp, A. So losing your anchor there for a minute is okay because you're going to play the 3rd string open next, right? The G note. So again. And every time you land on that A note, again, you're free to really strum as much as you want, as wildly as you wish. Last phrase, the first time the Beatles played in the intro, they hit an open A. Before hitting that C note, and the rest of the time they don't, to my ears. So I just go with the C note. And you have to jump up to the open G again, so it is C note, 5th fret, 5th string, 3rd fret, open 3rd string, 2nd fret, 5th string, and then back to your anchor. So the whole thing again. Quite simple. The main melody line that we all know and love is made much simpler by the DADGAD tuning. The bridge, you know, she asked me to stay and told me to sit anywhere, etc. Has very simple chords, but you do have to relearn them a little bit in DADGAD because of course you've retuned 3 strings. The first chord of the bridge is just going from our D of the main song to a D minor, and we know that a D major is D, F sharp, A, so D minor is D, F, A. We have not retuned our 4th string, so our F note is still sitting right there where we expect it to be at the 3rd fret. So if this was our D minor is just there. So she asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere, goes to a G. Everything's up 2 frets because of we've retuned those 3 strings a full step. So your G used to be here, now it's here. Your G used to be here, now it's... And we can leave open, we can kind of mute with our middle finger there, mute the 5th string and play the 4th and 3rd strings open because they're still part of our G major chord. So it's a really nice chord. So again, asked me to stay and she told me to sit. I apologize, I can't sing. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. E minor. We have not retuned these 2 strings, so that's still part of our E minor chord. Those 3 strings, we'll bring the E up here to A, and you don't have to hit that 1st string, 2nd fret. It just makes it an E note. You could just play. A5, just your A and your E notes. So again, the bridge. And then back to your but you get the idea. Just work out those chords. And again, playing them in a different way just opens up your playing a little bit. Gives you some different sounds that you maybe haven't played around with before. So experiment with that. That's what alternate tunings are all about experimentation. If you feel like you're getting in a little bit of a rut, or if you're lucky enough to have multiple guitars, tune one of them to an alternate tuning, whether it's an open G tuning to play some great Keith Richards licks, or a DADGAD tuning like this to play some sweet acoustic licks. The drop D and the double drop D are also very fun. I may get into that in another lesson. All right, thanks for joining me. I will see you next time.